It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
ShipShape, South Florida's only boat improvement show, is being brought to you in part by Mulford Marine, where we put the pleasure in pleasure boating, and by Stella Marine, a crest above the rest.
Thanks for tuning in to ShipShape, the boat improvement show. I'm John Graviscus, and this is my partner, Bert Dell.
Howdy, folks.
We're on location today in Fort Pierce, Florida at Marine Connection Liquidators.
Today we're going to be taking a look at your controls and what to look for when they're on the blink.
What's available in the new Throttle arena.
And of course, how to remove and replace one.
One of the things we try to do here at ShipShape is get you, the audience, involved in the show. So if there's some suggestion for a project that you'd like to see us cover here, write us a letter or send us a fax.
Write your project suggestions to ShipShape, the TV show. Attention Project Director, Post Office Box 31561, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida 33420. Or fax us at area code 407-626-4348.
And when we come back from this short break, Bert and I are going to take a look at the controls on a 20-foot open fish, so stick around.
Don't float away. ShipShape, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm John Graviscus with ShipShape TV. Look at this guy and all the products he needs to maintain his boat. I guarantee you he'll be tripping over that stuff all day long. Forget that nonsense. Use what I use, the SureHold family of products, the one handle that does it all. Any one of these quality-built SureHold attachments easily locks right into place, and here's the best part. They're the best quality items money can buy. You have my word on it. Whether it's for your car, truck, RV, or boat, keep it ShipShape with SureHold products.
Welcome back. Bert, today we're going to be putting in a throttle in this boat, but what are some things that we can look at to determine if the throttle's going bad?
Actually, it's very simple, John. In the case of this boat right here, after looking at the cables, what has really happened is we've had some salt intrusion on the cables. Over a period of years, people using this boat kind of forcing it a little bit. They just get bound up, and it's time to change the cables. And we're going to change out this control head also.
What all is involved?
Basically, it's a pretty straightforward remove and installation. You just unbolt your control head here. We'll take our cables loose on the end of our, on the engine end. We'll go ahead and tie us a string to it, so when we pull it through, we'll be able to pull our new cables back through the rigging tube and make the installation a lot easier.
Well, great. Are there some different options that we can go with on this, or do we have to go with original?
No, there's several different control manufacturers out on the market, you know, and there's any number of combinations that you can come up with.
Well, how about if we do this? Why don't you go ahead and get set up for today's project? I'm going to head inside and speak with Ronnie at Marine Connection Liquidators and see what's available in the throttle arena. I'd like to introduce you to Ronnie Carusis, the owner of Marine Connection Liquidators. Ronnie, thanks so much for having us out today.
Glad to have you.
Now, Ronnie, how exactly does the Marine Connection Liquidators work?
Well, what we do is we go out and liquidate surplus merchandise. Now, a lot of people get the word surplus mixed up with salvage, and that's not really what we do. We buy new items that are being discontinued or overstocked, people going out of business. And a lot of our inventory comes from boat builders that have to change their model every year. We go out and buy just everything from cleats to steering cables, and we buy it all in semi-loads at a time, so we really, pass the savings on to the customer.
Well, that's great. Well, today Bert and I are replacing a throttle on a boat, and I was hoping you could kind of show me some of the different throttles that you might have.
Okay. What kind of motor is on the boat?
It's an Evinrude.
Okay. Evinrude is made by OMC, and this is the control that OMC makes. It's a very high quality control. It has trim tilt right in the handle.
Gotcha.
The only downside to it is it's a little on the expensive side.
How much is something like this?
Well, we sell this throttle for $175, which is real close to a wholesale price on it.
Okay. But it's now one thing I'm noticing about this throttle, Ronnie, is it looks nothing like the one we're taking off.
Okay.
The one we're taking off looks more like this down here.
Okay. Now this control would work fine on there. It's a real pretty control, but it's a little harder to use.
Right.
This knob puts it in gear, and this knob gives it the fuel.
Okay.
So what I would recommend is something with one handle that puts it in gear and gives it gas at the same time.
I gotcha.
And has trim tilt in the handle.
Yeah, the one we're taking off doesn't have the trim tilt in the handle, but I noticed that the OMC does. So that's a nice feature. But well, what are we talking about price-wise on this?
$125 for this control here.
So it's a little less expensive. Now, what other options do you have, Ronnie?
Well, we've got a real good buy on a Morse control, which is similar to the same company. They make a lot of controls. They've got a good reputation making controls. And these are the two models that we're carrying.
Now, I'm not familiar with this one.
This is a newer model.
Okay.
It's more modern looking.
Right.
I think what Morse was trying to do here was get more modern looking and get it. They wanted a button that you push to rev up the engine in neutral. To where the older control, you had to have it in neutral, of course, and then you just pull it out and rev it up.
Yeah.
Both controls work fine and do the job, and they have trim tilt in the handles. They have the trim tilt
right in the handle and all of that. Price-wise, what are we talking about on the new style?
The new style we sell for $149. The old style we sell for $99.
Okay. Okay.
The way we can do that is we bought 1,500 of these. We completely bought all of them so nobody else would have them, and we're able to sell them at way below wholesale on that item.
Well, this definitely looks like the way to go with this. Now, is there any other things that we're going to need for today's project?
You probably want to replace the throttle cables at the same time you replace the throttle.
Okay.
Throttle cables we sell real inexpensively. They're like $1 a foot.
Gotcha.
Or around $15 probably what they would cost.
Okay.
Some grease and maybe some tie wraps for running them through, but that's probably about all you'll need.
Gotcha. Well, Ronnie, I can't thank you enough for being on the show. Thanks for having us out.
Okay.
And thanks for all the great information.
Okay, great. And you want to go with this one here?
Sounds great.
All right.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you.
What's our discount on these?
Bert, you got to check this place out. It is awesome.
They got some neat stuff in there, huh?
Oh, man.
Oh, when I get done, we all have to go through it.
Well, what's the first thing we need to do?
Okay, let's go ahead and pull our motor cover off.
All right.
Go ahead and set it down there if you would.
Gotcha.
I'm going to go ahead and pop our cables loose from our engine here, and I'll tie a piece of twine on them and drag it up through. That way I've got my fish in there to run the new ones back through again.
That's kind of like when we did the steering cable and helm.
Exactly.
We tied the rope on and we pulled it through.
Exactly.
You know, I've been thinking, though, why don't we do this? Why don't we take some duct tape and let's put our new cables right onto the old cables, duct tape them on, boom, one application, we go right through that fishing tube.
That would work.
Okay.
But one thing, when you tie your twine on your cable and you pull it up through, I always tie an excess amount on, and when I get it up on the other end, I go ahead and pull a lot through. That way when I tie my new cable on, I pull it through, and when I get my cable out here, I still got enough twine in my rigging tube. I go ahead and snip both ends then, tie it off back here, tie it off up underneath the console, and that way later on, if I want to run like a new depth finder wire through, and that's not as stiff as one of these cables, and it's hard to fish through if you don't have already something, to drag it through in there.
Bert, that's a great idea.
And it's just, it's just handy to have. Just keep it there, boom. If you ever need it, you got it.
Cool.
Go ahead and spray down our nuts and bolts here. Give them a little time to soak there.
Now, Bert, I noticed that there are two cables. What is each one for?
Okay, this is your throttle cable.
Uh-huh.
This is your gear selector cable.
So that's the one that, you know, if you're going forward.
Yeah,
or
it pops it
reverse.
in forward and aft. That's all it is.
Okay.
All right, let me see if I can back these nuts off. And as soon as we get these things off, we'll be able to tie our twine on the end of it, pull them up through.
I noticed that that thing kind of sits in a like notch kind of thing.
Yeah, it has a socket it sits in right here. That's so when you grab your throttle, you put it in gear up there. It doesn't. If you didn't have this to sit here, the cable would just flex. It needs a point to where it can be rigid from, and then
That makes sense.
and that's how your shielded cables work.
Gotcha.
The outside of the cable just sits there, and the inside of the cable is what does the
Inside
work.
move.
Okay, well, that pops right off. There's one. Let's see if we can get our other one to come loose just as easy.
That doesn't look too bad at all.
No.
Now, what would happen if that was real tight? Real, possibly corroded on or whatever.
Well, hopefully we would be able to back it off. This part here is stainless. These nuts are not stainless.
Okay.
And why they're not, I don't know. But we're going to see if we can't change that, take care of that problem right away.
Now, again, if that is, kind of fused on, you have to be kind of gentle with that because that looks like linkage.
If it's really, really corroded on there, what you want to do is you want to get some good penetrating oil like liquid wrench, spray it down, let it sit, and hopefully you'll be able to break it loose.
I gotcha.
Okay, let's pop this cable off.
Well, that was really no problem at all.
Nah, no, I think this is going to be a real easy installation.
Now all we need to do is tie the rope on.
We'll tie our twine on and drag it through.
Let's do it. Basically all I'm doing is tying a slip knot. I'm going to come in and just kind of feed it around the cables. Now one thing that you need to keep in mind is you want to get a good knot on this because you don't want it slipping in the rigging tube.
I'm going to go ahead and back our nuts and bolts off of our control box here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out all as one unit. I'm going to pull the cables and the box together. And that way when we get ready to put the new one in, we're going to also assemble our new one above deck. That way you don't have to lay down here and try to hook your cables up to your box. It just makes it ease the installation. All right, John, I'm ready to pull her out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let me help you feed these through the tube.
Okay.
How's it coming?
All right, it's coming right on up.
Hear things rearranging back there.
Oh, yeah.
Have you felt the rope yet?
No, I got it. Just trying to make this turn right here, and I think we'll have it. Right here on the cable, on the shield of the cable itself, you'll find the number stamp. This is number 15 with a FT, 15 feet.
Okay.
You find this, tell the guy what length cable you have, and he'll hook you up with the cable that you need.
Super simple.
All right, this is a real easy installation here with this Morse controls. They have already gone ahead and stamped the different engine manufacturers that you'll be hooking up, that you can hook up to this. You have Mercury, OMC, Yamaha. They've got them all here. So this is really very easy. All you do is you pick out the one that you have, bolt this piece on, hook your cables up to the selector switches here, and instructions will tell you which one is right for your application. Hook it up and you're ready to go. Also have your neutral safety switch and your power trim supply. So it's a real easy install. John, go ahead and start pulling that through for me, will you?
Okay. Here we go. Bird, how do you determine which one's which?
That's real easy, John. Just grab a hold of your throttle and we'll move it forward. The first one to move is going to be kick it in gear, so that's naturally going to be your gear cable there.
Right here.
And the next one, throttle.
Cool. Now, what are these things here, Bert?
That's your adjustment.
All right.
You know, you hook your cable up, you run it down here, you hook it on your the post, and then you just back it off to so it sits into the into this little cradle-like thing here.
Okay.
And there you go. So we'll hook these things up, and we're done.
Well, that's pretty simple.
Yeah, this is not really a bad install. It's a little dirty, but you know.
Don't pull up anchor. ShipShape's coming right back.
Why wax when you can pro polish? This premium protective wax from SureHold can be used on virtually any non-porous surface, such as cars, boats, RVs, home equipment, and more. Pro Polish is scientifically formulated to repel water, provide a deep, high-gloss shine, and protect surfaces from the effects of UV rays, salt water, and other harsh environmental elements. Unlike traditional waxes, Pro Polish contains no talc or fillers, which means easy wipe-on, wipe-off performance that doesn't clog up microfiber towels. Enjoy a new way to protect with SureHold's Pro Polish. SureHold, clean and simple.
Chapman's Corner is brought to you by Chapman School of Seamanship.
Today on Chapman's Corner, we want to take a look at the Federal Communications Ship Aircraft Radio Station License. This license is required on board all vessels that operate a VHF radio. This license is good for a period of 10 years. The way you apply for this license is you go down to one of your local radio distributors and ask them for an application for the FCC shipboard license. Fill out the license application, send in a fee of $75, and in about 4 to 6 weeks you should hear back from the FCC and they should issue your FCC license. Taking a look at this license, you'll see the information you'll receive. It has your vessel's name on board, and in this case it's the Shady Lady. Also, they're going to issue you your ship radio call signs. And on this particular application, it's Whiskey Charlie Uniform 4746. These are the letters and numbers that you utilize every time you use your VHF radio to make a call. This is your call signs. No one else will have these call signs. Also notice that this information is not transferable. So when you go to sell your boat, this number does not go with it. It stays with you. Also, there's some other information that you may want to add to your application form when you apply for it. If you have an EPIRB, an emergency position indicating radio beacon on board, single sideband radio, or a radar. These are all pieces of electronic equipment that transmit electronic energy through the air. In that case, the FCC wants to know about it. So when you apply for your application, add that information on there and you'll be good to go. Remember, you must have this license on board. If you get stopped and you don't have it on board, you can receive some heavy fines. From Chapman School of Seamanship, this is Tom Dante.
When we're talking what's hot on the water, we're talking about this 32-foot Albemarle. I'm with Bob Stella, the owner of Stella Marine. Bob, thanks so much for having us out today.
Good to have you on board, John.
Bob, not a whole lot of people know about the Albemarle, and I was hoping that you could maybe elaborate on the boat a little bit.
Well, the Albemarle boat is really, this 32 is a custom-made boat out of North Carolina, Edenton, North Carolina. Right at the Albemarle Sound. Cape Hatteras being at the inlet that they go out of, and you know the water in Cape Hatteras.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, these boats are made for the rough water.
Okay.
You feel free. It's a little windy today, no problem. We can take you out. When you go out in 8-footers, we'll take you out.
Alrighty. Now, how do they make this boat so sound? What do they do? What do they do different?
Well, this particular boat we're on is 20,000 pounds.
Okay.
Most 32-foot boats are 15,000, 16,000 pounds. So, of course, the stringer system is hand-laid glass, the weight of the glass work that they put in the boat. The entry the boat has going into the water is about a 40-degree entry.
Wow.
You've got about a 40-degree dead rise in the transom. It's got a full deep V hull. It's made for the heavy water.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Now, with this boat, Bob, you're probably talking about diesel-powered.
This has 3116 cat diesels, air generator, electric engine hatch. We're standing on it right now, and very accessible for the engine room. Fuel economy is very economical, 16, 18 gallons an hour, cruising around 28 to 30.
Right.
So it's not only hot on the water, it's fast on the water.
Gotcha.
And it has a long range of about 450 miles.
Well, what are some of the different amenities that come with this boat?
Well, the amenities that come with the boat, really, this particular boat has a full tower on it. It's all hand-brushed aluminum. They did a beautiful job with it. Big bow rails that are 2-inch aluminum bow rails. Fish boxes, live bait wells, cutting tops, tackle centers. Notice all the tackle centers are all made with wood that draws. Pomponette chairs. It's got all the amenities and then some. It has a nice non-skid, which is similar to the herringbones we're using on the shim, on the Pursuits. It's a very well-made boat.
Well, I know that this boat's laid out for fishing, but I can see that the women would really like this boat as well.
You can sleep 2 down below and 4 if you want to get a little tight. It has an over-under. It's got a private head, a little galley, teak and holly floor. So it has all of the amenities down below, the microwave and the ice maker that the gal wants.
Sure. Now, can people come by and see this boat this weekend at the Stewart Boat Show?
Right. As you know, we got the Stewart Boat Show, the Marine Industrial Show, right at Stewart Northside Marina, which is north of the Roosevelt Bridge. And you'll be able to view the Albemarle there. This is my own demo. I'm going to have a great demo price on it.
What are some of the other boats that you're going to have there, Bob?
I'm going to bring all my Regals in, my main ships. Also, the Carver yachts will be there, and we're going to have a full display, of course, of all the new 96 Pursuits.
Okay, great, great.
So come on down, and the value is going to be there. You're going to save 5 to 10% more than you're going to save in Lauderdale or Miami.
Now, why is that?
Well, the factories are giving us money to promote at our local boat shows.
Okay.
And we're able to discount a little bit more than we can do in Miami.
Right.
Being the cost of the show, really. What it cost us from Miami and Lauderdale.
I got you. So it makes sense for you to come by the Stewart Boat Show rather than waiting for the Miami Boat Show that's just coming right around the corner.
Right. It gives our local neighbors an opportunity to purchase a boat at better prices right in their hometown of Stewart.
I got you. Well, Bob, thanks so much for being on Ship Shape. Until next time, take care.
Thank you, John. Come on down.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Bert did a great job installing our new throttle. Let's see if it works. Oh, it looks great.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship shape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ship shape means trouble-free. Ship shape means being neater. Ship shape